Hi, this is Xane Daniel. I wanted to thank you so much for participating in this meditation and activation. This is not just a guided meditation, but it is an activation. I work with an extra-dimensional collective called the Hathors. They're very powerful, and by listening to the sound of my voice, you're being activated by the Hathors, and then peppered throughout this meditation, you'll receive very specific, targeted energy healing through activations. And how these activations work is, I will say, breath in. And when I do, you'll take a nice big deep breath and you'll hold it at the top and you'll wait for me to say the word awaken. And then you can exhale. But it will be loud, so don't be too surprised when it bursts into your ears. This is the signal that will send a high burst of energy to accomplish whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish. And as with all high vibrational energy activations or attunements, it's important for you to know that this can result in a little bit of a recovery period. So don't be surprised if you feel extra tired or extra wide awake. Drink plenty of water after you listen to this. And this recovery period could actually take a couple of days for you to get over. But understand that if you do experience a recovery period, you've gone through quite the transformation. To use the Monday meditations as intended, I invite you to listen to each one all week, every day, until the next Monday meditation releases, and then use that one every day for a week. Each time you listen to them, they will become more and more integrated into the amazing being that you already are. Please go ahead and take a nice big deep breath. And then exhale and relax. Allow yourself to sink into the seat that is supporting you. Feel the pull of Earth's gravity making you heavy and at peace. There's nothing you have to do for the next 20 minutes. You have set aside this time so that you can truly relax. And to that I say, congratulations. In today's world of crazy times, of the busyness of first world society, you've gone ahead and cleared out the space so that you can get a much deserved rest. But what occupies the most of your time, the most thoughts, the most worries, the most concerns in your day-to-day life? If you typed in fear of judgment on your YouTube search to discover this, then I'm sure that's the thing that's holding you back. And it's holding you back because there's something missing in you that you believe that you can get from the outside world. When we pursue something outside of ourselves, then we are not allowing ourselves to be enough. There are so many reasons why we might look outside of ourselves. Maybe because we're bored and we need stimulation. Maybe because we're suffering and we want someone to heal us. Maybe because we don't love ourselves and we need someone else to love us. Maybe we don't trust ourselves, so we need someone else to trust us, to show us that we can be trusted. The list goes on and on. So if we have fear of judgment, what we're also doing is we are doubting ourselves and putting too much credence into the views from others. When we are worried about judgment, then it often means that we judge. We are judging ourselves, and we are judging others. When we are judging ourselves, we are thinking back to all the situations that we've had throughout our lives, And we know all of our own secrets. We know when we were lazy. We know when we were tired. We know when we just didn't want to do it. We know when we were procrastinating. So we judge ourselves for those moments, even though in those moments we were truly doing our best. We didn't feel like we were doing our best, but we actually were. When we can start from here and say, any of those times where we were judging ourselves, we were actually, and we know it for sure, that we were actually doing our best, then there's no ground to stand on when it comes to judgment. When we stop judging ourselves, then we stop judging others. And when we stop judging ourselves and judging others, then we are no longer in reliance on the judgment of others. So where does judgment come from? It comes from a 3D perspective, a survival mindset. The only reason we judge is to try not to die. When we lived in tribes and the world was much more dangerous than it is now, we relied on judgment to make sure that everybody carried their weight. We relied on judgment to make sure that we didn't do something that would get us ostracized from the tribe. This was highly important. So we carry that same judgment with us today, even though it's no longer nearly as necessary. So if judgment comes from a 3D perspective, a primitive, survival-based mindset, and we've reached at least some level of belief in the divine, and that we can understand a divine mindset. A divine mindset has no judgment. It loves everything exactly as it is. It is only capable of unconditional love. Then we can start to see the judgment mindset as primitive, not giving it as much weight. I often say to the people in my programs, pick someone in your life who judges you, and then consider which aspect of them is doing the judging. Is it their primitive mind, or is it their divine self? It's always the primitive mind. The divine self does not judge. So, who would you rather impress? The primitive mind or the divine self? Well, I'm sorry, but I don't really care what the primitive mind thinks of me. All I care about is the divine perspective. And guess what? The divine perspective is no matter what you do, you are still unconditionally loved. So my need to impress somebody's primitive, survival-based mindset just disappears as soon as I realize this. I want you to picture yourself sitting where you're sitting right now. See yourself, the clothes that you're wearing. See your eyes closed. See your exact pose as you are sitting there or lying there. You are observing yourself from an outside perspective. And this outside perspective is your higher self or your soul self. And there, sitting on the chair or laying in the bed or wherever you are, is, and insert your name there. There's name sitting there, but I am a higher divine being. So let's look at name sitting there. Look at name. Look at all that he or she has been through. Look at all that she or he has survived, has dealt with. Look at how he or she has thrived, has had joy, has had happiness and excitement and love. But we can also look at Name and see how much he or she has suffered, how he or she has experienced all the emotional experiences that are available to him or her. From that perspective, we can say, wow, look at how hard Name has tried, has worked, has tried to create an incredible life for him or herself. What an amazing life they have had. And looking at Name, so peacefully sitting or lying there, I want you to go ahead and notice the fear of being judged as a physical or a visual representation. Maybe you see the fear of being judged as a dark cloud, or you see it as a blemish on the skin, or you see it as water, or a growth on the body. Whatever it is, whatever you see is correct. And so from this perspective of your higher self looking down at your 3D self, I want you to go ahead and remove that fear of judgment. However you see yourself removing it is valid as well. Maybe you reach in and grab it and throw it into the sun, or allow the earth to pull it to its core, or to just disintegrate it with your thoughts. Once again, however you see this happening is the right way. Breath in. Oi! Excellent. It's gone. You've moved on. You have the power to heal yourself, and this is one of the many ways that you can do so. So let's refill this gap that we've left when we removed the fear of judgment. Let's refill it with unconditional love and confidence. I want you to choose a color, and that color will represent your confidence and unconditional love. And then, still looking at yourself sitting there or lying there, I want you to fill Name with the color. Fill him or her so that they are completely doused in this new color. Allow that color to be absorbed. Maybe it's absorbed into the solar plexus, especially. Maybe it's absorbed into the head, into the neck or the shoulders, or maybe it's evenly distributed across the body. This is your new unconditional love for yourself and your newfound confidence in who you actually are. Breath in. Oh! Good. You have never made a mistake in your entire life. Everything you've ever done has been perfect, and it's gotten you to exactly where you are right now. So congratulations. You did it. And moving forward, you never have to worry about ever making a mistake again, because it's impossible. You will always get to exactly where you're supposed to go, no matter what you do. So the pressure's off. You can relax. You can be at peace. You can be calm. You can move down the river in the canoe. You can move with the flow of the river. Paddling upstream doesn't serve you anymore. Paddling downstream allows you to see the scenery, allows you to navigate around a rock or two, but mostly it allows you to surrender to the flow of the river, and you can watch your life as though you're watching a movie, rather than being completely consumed by this illusion of your life. Everything that happens to you is part of your script, is part of your journey. And everything that happens to you happens for you, not to you. So you can learn a lesson from absolutely every experience. You can grow and expand from every experience if you choose to. And it's the journey that's the most important. If you were to sit down and watch a movie, you get an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours worth of entertainment, because you watch the characters have experiences, solve problems, go through personal growth, have surprise occurrences. You watch an incredible plot reveal itself as the story goes along. That is the journey. You wouldn't go to a movie if the movie was one frame that just said, Bruce Willis's character defeats the bad guy. That's the goal. That's what's going to happen at the end of the movie. But now there's no journey. There's no experience. There's no growth. There's no expansion. There's just the end. When you focus on the end goal so much that you don't enjoy the journey, then you are not getting as much out of the experience as you could. It isn't about the end. The end is just another beginning anyway. So if you jumped right to the end, oh, I want to make $100,000 a year, and that process of getting up to $100,000 a year takes a while, then you're suddenly at $100,000 a year, and now what? There's a new journey waiting for you. Maybe you decide that your new journey is to make $200,000 a year. Well, why would you skip the first one if you wanted to do the second one? Every aspect of everything that you're doing has an incredible journey associated with it. So, as they say, stop and smell the roses on your way to your goal. You might fall so in love with your journey that you actually don't even care about the goal anymore. The goal is a 3D experience. We survived more because we had goals than if we didn't, back when things were desperate or difficult. We have the goal to put up a defense perimeter so that the saber-toothed tigers couldn't get to us. That goal was pretty important. By actually accomplishing that goal, then our tribe survived for longer. But now, we don't have to do that so much. There are exceptions, of course. But this experience is all about experience. Every journey that you get to have has a goal. But maybe the main goal should be to enjoy the journey. And the secondary goal is to actually accomplish the goal that you've set for yourself. With this reframing, life will be completely different. And if we step back into judgment, the topic of judgment, it doesn't even apply anymore, does it? Yes, there could be judgment along the path, along the journey, but does it really matter? Does it have anything to do with your enjoyment of your journey? No, only if you make it that way. Otherwise, you get to experience everything that you signed up for in this lifetime. And when it comes to free will, your assessment or perspective or the way that you respond to the journey is where your true free will comes into play. I want you to take another nice big deep breath. And as you relax, I want you to come back into your body, bringing your higher self divine perspective with you, being ready to see Name's experience as an incredible journey with surprises around every corner, challenges and excitement. And you get to observe this like the movie that it is and enjoy the process because you're not going to take it so seriously. And when you're ready to stop judging yourself, stop judging others, and to discard your fear of judgment from others, then you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for participating in this meditation. I do my best to release one every Monday. So I recommend that you watch this one every day, all the way up until the next Monday release. And if you could help out the YouTube algorithm by subscribing, by commenting, by liking the video, I would appreciate it, and so would others who find this a great deal. I love you unconditionally, and I'll see you in the next video.